Let's do it! Hello everybody, this is Randy and welcome aboard the Seabee Traveler channel. In an earlier video I mentioned that when we moved in from the desert, Diddlesville, we moved into a brick house, and this is the house that we moved into. It's right at the base, or pretty close to the base of Q Mountain, between Q Mountain and I-10. Over the years it's changed some. Like that window on the right side of that building wasn't there before. The one on the left was. And this front window we had a little cactus garden, a big old saguaro. And I was actually able to scrounge up an old picture of me when I was a kid and some of my family, and we're standing right in front of that window on the right. That's me on the left. Yep. But yeah, like I say, over the years it's changed some. That door wasn't there before. It was, when we were there, it was a 3-bedroom house, and I'm trying to remember, there was no central heating. The only heat we had was through the fireplace. Here's a picture of that fireplace. That was our only heat while we were here, but this is a more recent picture. And back here is where we had our Thanksgiving dinners, especially when we had family in town. I found a picture of us eating dinner back here, and you can see Q Mountain in the background, and yep, that's me in the bottom right. And down on this end, that window on the left, that would have been my grandpa's spot. So when he came in the room and you were sitting there, you had to leave because that was going to be his spot. So, and on this end also, we had our swamp cooler. Just open up the windows on the other end of the house in the bedrooms, and that's how we cooled it down in the summer. This old, there used to be 2 big date palms here, but finally got rid of them. So yeah, that was our house. We had my mom, dad, 4 of us kids, and my grandma and grandpa, all in the same place. Seems like it was crowded, but compared to where we were before this, living in the desert, this was a castle to us. All right, let me get the drone up and we'll get an aerial view of the house. We'll find our way back home. We'll find our way back home. And back then, there was no desert gardens, RV park, or anything. It was just us, a couple other houses, and this was all just natural desert. Going out chasing lizards. Well, it was a good time. Right next to that house is this old abandoned airstrip. An early film actor named Buck Connor moved to Quartzsite, built a house, and since he was the only person in the area that had a pilot's license, he made this airstrip so that he could use it to fly out of. At the outbreak of World War II, general flight aviation restrictions stated that you couldn't fly within 150 miles of the Pacific coast. Quartzsite was still an area that you could fly, so a lot of people came out to get their flight hours logged, and also people came out for training to try and get their pilot's license. And later the Army made a deal with Buck to use the airfield in training women to get their pilot's license and be able to do non-combat duties like transporting aircraft. They would tow targets, and they would do cargo transport as well. I found this old aerial view of what the runway looked like in 1940, and you can see Q Mountain in the top left corner there. But that gives you a good idea what it looked like during World War II. And since I was right here, I couldn't resist walking across the old catwalk again. So many times I crossed this thing. I only had one friend, maybe two friends that lived on this side of the freeway. So if I wanted to get over and see any friends, I had to cross this thing. And it's kind of cool. You can see that they had a track to walk your bike up on. And yes, as a kid, I did try and ride my bike down that rail. You can see, oh, you can see right here, a truck going under the catwalk hit it and cracked the curb all up, but she's still standing. And also, you can kind of see up on the top, the chain link fence, people getting up there and walking across this thing. It's scary enough riding or walking across it down here in the safety of this fence. And when trucks go under it, the whole thing kind of shakes a little bit. So yeah, I would not want to be getting up there. I gotta make some trucks honk. I can't resist. Let me see if I can't get some trucks to honk here. Come on, here we go. Come on, let's do it. That was fun. I couldn't resist. Took me back to my younger days, and don't judge me for that. Well, that's enough fun for here. I have a couple more places I want to try and get to, and the first one's going to be the Audiio tomb. It's not too far from here, so I'm just going to head back to the truck, and we'll pick up over there. All right, here we are. This is where the Audiio tomb is at the Quartzsite cemetery. Back in 1935, the governor of Arizona dedicated this tomb, which is over his gravesite here in the cemetery. There's also a pioneer portion to this cemetery, and there might be some familiar names that you see on some of these. Alright, well, let me come over here. We'll take a look at this sign. Last camp of Audiio. In 1857, he was a camel herder in the U.S. Army. And then he moved out to Quartzsite to try some mining, selling water to travelers and stuff like that. So, anyways, let's go take a closer look at this tomb. And earlier this morning, I was able to get out and I got a sunrise picture looking in the opposite direction, but it still came out pretty nice. Here it is. Yeah, this tomb is made out of natural stone from the surrounding area. It's really nice the way they have it layered. So they did a good job on this. So, but like I said before, this is right next to the pioneer portion of this cemetery, and there's a couple names I wanted to show you over here. If you remember my previous video, there was the cabins we went to, the Joseph Kone cabins. This is it's a headstone dedicated to the memory of him. And let's see if I can find it over here. Yeah, here it is. We have, get turned around here so you can see it. We have Charlie Kewen, and let's see back here, if I'm trying to back up a little bit without stepping in the wrong place. We have Fred Kewen. If those names sound familiar, that's the street where the Tyson Wells game store and the Cellarama is on. And also, that's where the Big Tent show is, over by Kewen Street and the game store. So let's see what this is. Oh, Buck Connor from the Connor Airfield. I didn't know that was here. It's no wonder. It was dedicated in March of 2021. So it's probably been that long since I've been here. Let's see, what do we have over here? I don't think I've ever read this one. Let's see, Audiio Cemetery. It's just a plaque that it's hard to read, but it just kind of describes a little bit more about Audiio. And it talks about how there's the pioneer portion of this cemetery, about the early pioneers of Quartzsite and that are interred here. So yeah, it's a Quartzsite cemetery. This is the older part of the cemetery. The newer part I'm not going to walk to because I have one more place to get to, and I'll see if I can make it over there. So before I could make it over to the next destination, I was able to go over and get some information from somebody who had firsthand knowledge of a building that I wanted to get a deeper dive into in another video. So I spent that time last night and figured I'd come over here this evening. So this place I wanted to show you guys is known as the Great Tree of Arizona. It's a short little hike from across the street, and I also have my drone, so I wanted to fly that over, get a little aerial perspective. So let me get parked and we will hit the trail. Well, I've heard about this tree. I grew up in this town and I never knew this tree was here. That's amazing. Almost 11 years living here. So it's just right up here. It's a tree, they say, is over 1,000 years old. Wow, there is quail everywhere out here. So we're going to follow this little rock path. I think I see it over there. Yeah, there's a bench over there. Cool. All right. It's a short walk. I'd probably just park across the street at the park, and just a quick little 2 or 3 minute walk to get over here. That's cool. All right. Oh, good, there's a sign over here too. Maybe it'll explain a little bit. How did I not know this was here? How is that a thing? All right. Well, my shadow's going to be in the way, it looks like. Let's come over here. First of all, we'll see. It's going to be real hard to read with the shadows. Great tree, ironwood tree, 1,010 years old. Wow, growth rings were counted and totaled. Rings per inch were multiplied by radius of the tree. So in 2009, this tree was 1,010 years old. So. Well, that's interesting. See if I can get it. It's pretty neat how they have this bench underneath it. And what I was told was that a branch fell off, so they cut the branch and counted the rings to figure out that it was 1,010 years old. Wow, that thing is big. I'm gonna see if I can't get a picture here. The light is just about right. I'm gonna spend a little bit of time, maybe incorporate that bench. Somehow incorporate that bench under the arch. Maybe something like this. I don't know. Let me come over here. Oh, somebody built a nest here. Here's the entrance. I don't see an entrance there. All right. See if I can't look around here and try and get a picture. Back this way. I don't know, let me, I'm gonna put the GoPro down and see if I can't find a picture, and I'll pick back up in just a second. I got a couple of shots. Problem with here, you can see, is my shadow's right in it, so I'm trying to duck down, and I can probably, if my shadow's in the picture, I can probably Photoshop that out. Nothing I could do about that. But I got one from the other side too, and hopefully one of them will come out and I'll show that to you. Very interesting. I'm glad I finally, after all these years, found out about this. All right, let's see if we can get the drone up. You can see the walkway over on the right, and we'll get up over the tree, try and do a circle around. I gotta say, for its age, it seems to be doing pretty well. It's nice and green. I'm sure all the rain we had last winter has helped, but it's right next to a wash, so its roots probably go really, really deep. So, have something to do with it, but I'm glad we found out how old that tree is. Well, I'm going to sign off from the 1,010-year-old ironwood tree in Quartzsite, Arizona. If you like this kind of content, don't forget to like and subscribe. And just remember, never say goodbye. Always see you later.